I'm Chris Forsberg, and this week on Garage Tours, we find ourselves in Bridgeport, Connecticut, cruising through downtown, and we stumble upon an old brick building. You'll never guess the car collection we found inside.
Mr. Forsberg.
PJ.
Welcome, brother.
How are
you, man? Come on in.
Great.
Welcome to Redline.
My buddy Ryan Turk told me you guys have an insane collection of cars. I mean, there's just so much in this showroom. I don't even know where to start, but I guess we could go with the oldest first. This one looks like the part.
Cool. Well, don't mind the 289 Cobra. We'll keep her out of the shop for right now.
Just keep that right in the background.
But let's talk about this bad girl right here. This is a 1937 Bugatti Type 57S. Now, what's really cool about this car is they were also available from Bugatti supercharged. One of the earliest cars with a factory blower on it.
Oh my God.
This particular car is really cool because it did not come with the supercharger from the factory, but the original owner paid to have it retrofitted at Bugatti.
Oh, that's insane.
Yeah, man.
And what do you have back here? For a second, I thought it was a Bugatti. I guess I don't know my old cars too well.
Everybody says the same thing because they look very similar. It's also a French car. This is a 39 Delage D6 3-liter Le Mans race car. Now, the thing that's really cool about this car, obviously you see the color right away, right?
Yeah, it really
This is
pops
almost
out.
what people would call a Bugatti blue. Well, what's interesting about it is back in the day, all the major manufacturers got together and they decided to make it easier for people to follow international racing. They were going to assign colors to their respective country's car. France ended up with this sort of iconic now Bugatti blue. Italy at the time got a deeper burgundy red, not quite Ferrari Corsa Rossa red, but a deeper one.
Kind of evolved over the time.
You got it, brother. Germany was silver, which is why you see so many silver Porsches these days.
Yeah.
United Kingdom was green, British Racing green.
Yeah.
And the Netherlands was orange, which is why their soccer team, you see, rocks those orange shirts.
So funny. See, it's such a cool story. Like, I can't imagine manufacturers nowadays coming together, making like a group effort like that. Like, oh, we will get back to this one in a minute.
We will.
But yeah, as for this, I cannot keep my eyes off this car. It's incredible.
Here's the man, the myth, the legend himself.
Long time no see.
Hollywood with the sunglasses. This is the
Good
boss.
man.
Nice to meet you, Chris.
Yeah, nice to
What's
meet
up,
you.
brother?
DJ, what's going on,
What's
buddy?
going on?
Now, Colton, from what I understand, you're not just a boss around here, but you also get your hands dirty, getting into these restorations yourself, doing everything in-house. So why don't you tell us a little bit about this one in particular?
This car in particular is this 1961 Ferrari GTO. It was actually one of the earliest GTOs created. It was actually one of Ferrari's test bed cars to test on the Nürburgring. There's a huge following behind it because it put Ferrari on the map so early on in the game. One of the harder parts of actually restoring this car was getting Ferrari to certify. They actually have a Classic K division or a Classic division, a small group of guys with the white coats, clipboards to pass you out your golden Willy Wonka ticket, if you will.
So like the seal of approval from Ferrari.
Correct. This car had to be shipped up overseas to Italy, and they had their white coats go over this thing, and there's actually a laser etched horse insignia on the front cross member on it, certifying that of what it is today.
So does this thing just sit here looking pretty, or you guys drive this thing around too?
This car specifically is going to be on rallies, events, road racing, so we had to put some hard miles, if you would, on this thing. And it does
hard miles.
shred tire first and second gear. It is a wolf in wolf's clothing, if you will. This is the tire fryer, yeah.
Oh man. Steven, now I can't just leave the showroom without hearing a little bit about this. You guys got all these classic Italian cars, but nothing beats some good old American muscle.
That's for sure, Chris. And this car, believe it or not, probably has the best story out of any car in this shop right now. Colton's old man, about 20 years back, had been on a scouting trip to France to look for cars to restore and make some money. His friend, his host at the time, said, "Let me take you to this barn." Now, in our line of work, anytime you hear the word barn, you're like a prairie dog coming out of its hole. Ears up, eyes open, right? So anyhow, door swung open. Here's this Cuda. It's covered in mouse turds, hay, dust. Looks like a complete yard sale, right? So Colton's old man said, this is cool, but it's not for us right at the minute. Fast forward 20 years, our client comes to us and says, I want the badass muscle car. The light bulb went off.
This is the same livery that it raced with, I believe, during its first, second, and possibly third championship win.
We flew in the original owner, a little Frenchman named Henry Chemin. and we reunited him with the finished car in his race condition at the Greenwich Concours. He started getting misty-eyed, the tears started, and then Colton fired it up. And you know, Chris, what a 426 Hemi sounds like, even at idle. I mean, it makes you sick to your stomach just from throwing your guts around so much.
You guys gonna open this door up or what? So it's amazing seeing this thing run after all the hard work that went into it. So why don't you guys show us where you guys do all this?
Well, I'll tell you what, Colton's gonna take you in the back, Chris, and show you where all the magic happens.
All right, lead the way. Oh man, just never stops.
It doesn't. This is actually the mechanics bay here at Redline Restorations.
It's pretty clean for a mechanics bay.
Yeah, we try to keep it tidy. We've got a little bit of diversity in here. We've got a Maserati Roadrunner over in the corner.
Yeah.
2 Chrysler Gias, one of 32 in existence. 2 of 32.
Two of
We've got
32.
2 in the house. 1971 Fiat 500. We kind of retrofitted, rear-wheel drive, B16, B Type R swap.
Really?
And Land Cruiser, Ferrari 275 GTS convertible on the lift.
Yes, sir.
This is where most of the final assembly occurs, and general mechanics.
Looking real nice.
So in here, Chris, this is like a light assembly, paint prep area. For nice paint, you need a nice booth. This is something that Audi, Lamborghini, love to see their stuff painted in. You're probably saying to yourself, what the hell is this thing doing in the paint prep area? Early 1961 Maserati 151, slammed with a V8 Maserati motor.
Yeah, it looks like it's been through the ringer.
It has been. So something like this, we've got to leave it as is, and it kind of holds the car's value. In here we have most of our metal fabrication.
Nothing impresses me more than just hand shaping, quarter panels and doing all this metal work by hand. I mean, it's a trait that you can never be too good at.
That's very right, Chris. A lot of the stuff has to be hand formed. It's not like you can go out and buy a fender for a car or a quarter panel or a rocker panel.
Frame up restorations, all this hand done body work, and it's cool to see it all done under one roof. So thank you so much for having us. It's been a great time.
Chris. Awesome. Before you guys part ways, I want you to check out a new acquisition and something that might be right up your alley.
Okay. Are you kidding me? What's this thing doing in Connecticut?
Here she is. You remember this car?
Oh my God, this thing brings back some memories. I actually drove with Signal Auto back in 2003. It was my first team and/or sponsor, and this thing it's just so funny to see this thing out here.
Probably one of the few cars here you could actually tell more to me about this thing than anything else in the shop.
Yeah, I think that might be the case.
You want to take it for a spin?
Well, actually, I've already driven this car, so there was one I did have my eye on. All right, Colton, thank you so much for letting me drive this car. I know you said to take it easy in this thing, but you got something we can do some burnouts in?
That's what this is for.
Oh yeah? You got a little Fiat here?
This is a B16 B Type R powered Fiat rear wheel drive.
All right, let's do it. I still cannot believe that Redline Restorations let me drive that multi-million-dollar Ferrari. It was an absolute blast. Watching these guys do these meticulous rebuilds on these cars was a real eye-opener.